Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Piglet here once again, and as you can see, I'm finally going to be playing as Mario once again ever since back in at the very end of February month. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of the Forms of the Maxi Toys videos. And speaking of which, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy in the Mario's playthrough of the game for the Nintendo Wii/Nintendo Wii U as a digital download software. Is the fact that, well, last time for Mario's playthrough is the fact that we did manage to done with the final purple coin challenge mission, and same applies by the forms of able to actually defeat Bowser for the fourth and final time for Mario. So today, this is going to be the grand finale of Super Mario Galaxy for specifically for Mario's playthrough, because until tomorrow we'll be able to deal with Luigi's playthrough as well. So don't worry, we won't be missing out much. So even then, before we do things, however, though, before we get into the forms of the grand finale galaxy, is the fact that there was one particular thing we actually completely ignored for the majority of this Let's Play, and that will have to be Rosalina's storybook inside the library. So even then, we'll go in there first, and then after that, we'll move on to the grand finale galaxy for Mario. So even then, as for Luigi's playthrough, though, we'll might as well find out until then. So let us begin. Chapter 1, The Celestial Duo. Our story begins a very, very long time ago with a young girl. One day, this girl spotted a rusted spaceship holding a small star child. "What's your name? Are you lost?" the girl asked the star child. "I'm Luma. I'm waiting for Mama. She's coming for me on that comet," said the star child, who had been waiting day and night. "Don't worry, I'll wait with you," the little girl promised Luma. At nightfall, the little girl borrowed her father's telescope and peered into the sky. She looked and looked, but she saw nothing. Hours turned into days, and then years, but still the sky revealed nothing. Finally, the little girl sighed and said to Luma, "If we stay here looking much longer, I'll be an old lady soon." But then she had an idea. "Why don't we go out there and find your mother ourselves?" The girl and Luma fixed up the rusty spaceship, and then the two set sail into the starry sky. And this is how the search for the celestial mother began. Chapter 2, Star Bits. Days passed with no sight of the comet or even a single planet. Instead, asteroids extends for as far as the eye could see. "If I had known it was going to take this long, I would have packed more jam," said the little girl, above the rumble of her belly. Before they left, she had packed all the essentials: telescope, butterfly net, stuffed bunny, bread, milk, jam, and apricot-flavored tea, but "I forgot to bring water." At this, Luma burst into gales of laughter, and the girl began to pout. "As long as I have star bits, I'll be fine," said Luma. "Want some?" The little girl couldn't stay mad after hearing this. Luma continued to laugh, and the girl couldn't help but join in. "Alright, maybe just a nipple." Leaning far out of the ship, the pair began to collect star bits with the girl's net. They almost fell out a few times, but they kept on collecting. The star bits taste like honey. Chapter 3. The Comet. A beam of light pierced through the ship's window. Thinking it was the morning sun, the girl peered through the window only to find a turquoise blue comet shimmering at her. The little girl shook the sleeping Luma awake and shouted excitedly, "We have to get to that comet!" The pair descended on the comet and found that it was made of ice. They looked high and low, but Luma's mother was nowhere to be found. Exhausted, the little girl sat down with a flop, utterly unable to take another step. Look! Peering down at the icy ground where Luma was pointing, the girl suddenly noticed clutches of star bits encased in the ice. "Pretty good, huh? Finding star bits is my specialty," said Luma, being. "There's ice here, but it's so warm. I bet there's water here too." The two decided to stay on the comet for a while. Riding a turquoise comet, the pair continued their search for Luma's mother. Chapter 4. The Dream. One night, the girl dreamed about her own mother. "Where are you going?" she asked. Her mother retreated back. Without turning, her mother replied, "Don't treat, dearest. I am not going anywhere. I'm always watching over you, like a sun in the day and the moon in the night." A wave of sadness washed over the girl. "What about when it rains and I can't see the sun or the moon?" Her mother thought for a moment before responding. "I will turn into a star in the clouds and wait for your tears to dry." When she awoke, the girl's face was dripped with tears. "You have star bits in your eyes," said Luma to the girl. Wiping her face, the girl replied, "These are tears, not star bits. I am crying because I will never see my mother ever again." At this, Luma began to cry too. "Mama, oh mama, mwah!" The pair traveled through the starry skies, and though they encountered many other comets, not one of them held Luma's mother. Luma was despondent. Now, Luma, the rain clouds won't go away if you keep crying," the girl said, giving Luma a squeeze, "and I'll give you a present if you stop." The girl closed her eyes and said gently, "I'll take care of you." With these words, she felt a small spark in her heart. Chapter 5. Home. The kitchen will go here, and the library will go over there. The girl said pleasantly to herself, "We put the gate here." Ever since the girl took Luma under her care, she'd been blustering about at their feverish pace. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it to make a happy home. It turned out that star bits weren't the only things buried in the ice. There were tools and furniture, unlike any they had ever seen, and the girl used them to build a home. Looking at the complete house, Luma remarked, "Don't you think it's awfully big for just the two of us? With a library, bedroom, kitchen, fountain, and gate, it was currently spacious, but still, something seemed to be missing. If only my father, brother, and mother were there, or were here," the girl said wistfully. Indeed, the house was too large for its two small residents. That night, clutching her favorite stuffed bunny close to her heart, the girl fell asleep in the starship. Chapter 6: Friends. Then, one day, while the girl sat slumbering tea, a tiny apricot-colored planet appeared on the horizon. From the planet, another Luma of the same color emerged. "Do you two know each other?" the girl asked the two Lumas gratefully. Despite the girl's excitement, they seemed uneasy. The two Lumas neither drew closer nor backed away from each other. Instead, they just stared. Then, one Luma broke the silence. "My mama." At once, the apricot Luma parroted back. "My mama, my mama, my mama, my mama." The two Lumas began to dance around the girl frequently, and neither showed any sign of stopping. The girl was so calmed by this adorable scene that she couldn't help but laugh, and that's when something very strange happened. Suddenly, more Lumas began to pop out from the apricot planet. They were different colors, but they all shouted the same thing. "My mama! My mama!" The sight of all of the shouting Lumas only made the girl laugh harder. "What am I going to do with all these children?" The Lumas just stared blankly as she doubled over laughing. "I guess I'll have to name each of every one of you." Tomorrow, once she had finished naming them all, she would begin moving all the Lumas into the new house. Chapter 7: The Telescope. After seeing their 100th comment, a sudden thought popped into the girl's head. "I wonder if my home planet is still as blue as it was." That's when she remembered her father's telescope. Peeking into the telescope, a tiny blue dot floated into sight. It was smaller than a star bit. How strange. It's so far away, but it feels so close. She twisted the knob of the telescope, and the blue dot grew until she could make out a grassy hill dotted with flowers. It seems very familiar to her. Zooming even closer, a terrace on that hill came into view. I used to go stargazing there when I lived on my home planet. Oh, and by the way, you can also use your control stick until you're able to change the page back and forth between left or right, so I just want to classify that. So anyways, she remembered rubbing the sleep out of her eyes as she followed her father up that hill to look at the stars. She remembered how she and her brother would sled down that hill. She remembered having picnics with her mother on that hill on bright and windy days. And I want to go home. I want to go home right now. The girl burst into tears and the Lumas didn't know what to do. I want to go home. I want to go back to my house by the hill. I want to see my mother. The girl was shouting now, her face wet with tears. But I know she's not there. I know all along that she wasn't out there in the sky because she's sleeping under the tree on the hill. The girl's cries echoed through the stars and a hush fell over the area. Chapter 8: The Wish. Thought usually quite cheery, one day the girl became sad again. Luma drew close and tried to comfort her. "Mama, you still have me. And don't be sad about your mama because she's a part of you. That means she's always close by. It's like me, I love starbits because they remind me of my mama." No, the girl said, unable to stop the tears. A lonely look flickered across Luma's face, but it was soon replaced by a wide grin. "I have an idea. I will transform into a comet, a soaring comet that can carry you all on this journey." With that, Luma trembling bands of white, soaring high into the sky and just as quickly started to plummet back down. Kaboom, kablam! A ground shook and a bright light poured out of the crater that the Luma had created. The bands of light twisted together to form a comet tail, and then Luma emerged, reborn as a comet. The girl could scarcely believe her eyes. "But how?" she kept asking. "Our destiny as Lumas is to transform into different things," said the red Luma, who had suddenly appeared. "Stars, comets, planets, we can become all of these things. When I grow up, I want to become a star that makes someone special smile," said the green Luma. A blue Luma chimed in. "That Luma turned into a real cutie of a comet, didn't he?" All of the Lumas together said, "No more crying, Mama." "Thank you," said the girl in a whisper, and she pulled the Lumas close and hugged them. From that day on, starbits no longer fell from the girl's eyes. The comet set forth for the girl's home planet as long tail blazing proudly behind it. Final chapter: Family. With its many lumas and telescopes, the comet was quite a sight to behold. The girl and the lumas were proud to call it home. At a welcoming party for a new luma, the girl gathered everyone in the kitchen and said in a louder voice than usual, "Alright everyone, let's make a cake sprinkled with star bits. Then it will be a star cake. The Lumos excitedly began to gather the ingredients. As she watched the Lumos scurry about, the girl smiled and thought to herself, "This is my family now, and I will stay with them until they are ready to leave the nest. And when they do leave, I'll see them off with a smile." Because that's what makes a mother happiest. That night, when the girl lay down to sleep, a soft light enveloped her and reminded her of the blue planet she once called home. But it would be nice to return home once every 100 years to nap in her favorite sleeping nook. The comet carrying the Lumos and the girl continues on its journey to this very day. With more family members in trial than can be counted, it's said that the comet visits the girl's home planet once every 100 years, its proud white tail glittering in the sky. The end.
That's all.
That's all. My story is finished. See, it's a pretty sweet story. In fact, this is actually inspires Rosalina's backstory from the past, of how the Lumos actually always calls her mama and stuff like that. So even then, though, that there are 9 different chapters to able to read through. So even then, though, you can able to actually read them again if you wanted to. But let's just move on to the final thing for Super Mario Galaxy as far as the Mario's playthrough, as far as I'm concerned. Don't worry, I'll do the same thing for Luigi's playthrough until tomorrow. So, but even then, once you've able to actually gathered about 120 power stars, as not only for Mario, but it's also for Luigi as well, you will soon be able to unlock the true final galaxy in the whole entire game, aside from the forms of Bowser's Galaxy Reactor, and that is the Grand Finale Galaxy. So, yeah, keep that in mind that this galaxy wasn't exactly going to be that challenging. It was actually a little bit more chilled and easy and self-explanatory galaxy as far as I'm concerned, because what do we get in here? We're about to be revisiting back to the Star Festival for about a few parts ago. See, even then though, that we're now about to be back on the Mushroom Kingdom itself. See, even then though, and basically for the majority of this mission is all about is that, well, there's not much enemies around here, apart from the fact that there's actually purple coins scattered across in the entire kingdom. So even then, that's all you need to do in this particular the Star Festival mission is that obviously we need to collect about every single purple coins. Once again, there are 100 of them in total, so even then, once you're done with all that, then the mission is entirely finished. So even then, though, that's, you know, this exactly feels a little bit more similar to the forms of when you start the game off, but except this time around, though, we don't get interrupted by Bowser's airship attacks. Even then, though, everything else is all hunky-dory, and especially noticeable with how the fact that, not to mention, those toads are still showed up, but this time around, though, even more people decide to join in, like, for instance, those penguins, including the Guillermo right here, and especially noticeable with the penguin coach, and, you know, the rest of the names of the actual, you know, every single townspeople or something like that. So, and here's Princess Peach's castle from a distance right there, so even then, let's go and approach onto it. Mr. Mario, you've got to hear this. We did such a good job, they are promoting us to Royal Guards. With me as the Royal Guards commander, nobody will ever kidnap Princess Peach again. Ever. Koopas, Boos, Giants, Overgrown, Moles, whatever, bring it on. So, yeah, it's nothing that much challenging, as I said this before, until when it gets to the point until Super Mario Galaxy 2, that we'll mention more on that whenever we get to that game, as far as the actual redo Let's Play of that particular game. But even then, though, it's a pretty nice little, sweet and easy finale ending of that particular, level right there. So even then, though, as I said before, if you collect 100 purple coins, then the Power Star will show up right in front of the forms of the actual, like, Princess Peach's castle. But before you grab the Power Star, Mario, there's a congratulations letter here for you. Do you want it? Yes, I will do. I send a letter to the Wii message board, so look out for it. So basically, every time you actually get into the Grand Finale Galaxy, you always come across into that mail toad right there, and he just trying to tell you about the fact that he just decided able to send you a congratulations letter, and then basically you can able to actually view that at any point on the Wii message board on the Wii menu. So even then, the only way you can able to do that though, although first of all we've actually gathered every single power stars as Mario, so the maximum amount of stars you can get between these two playable characters, which there are 121 power stars in total. So even then though, although I will mention more details about the power stars total until the final parts of this entire Let's Play until tomorrow, for the sake of Super Luigi Galaxy's playthrough. So even then, let's hit the home menu quickly, and just show you guys about the forms of that particular envelope that the mail toad actually sent us. So even then, let's go ahead and hit onto this little Wii message board, and as soon as it pops up, then we get ourselves this lovely message. Dear Mario, congratulations, we would like to send you a galaxy-sized thanks for saving all of the power stars and playing to the very end. Until next time, the Super Mario Galaxy staff. And also, as you can see on the top right corner of that message as well, it shows us the actual picture, which depends on what characters you select. In this case, in Mario's, you get yourselves Princess Peach and Mario and these two Lumas, and the location that takes place in is in Good Egg Galaxy. So, it's one classify for that, and that's pretty much it for the forms of the extra stuff of Super Mario Galaxy, as far as Mario's playthrough as far as I'm concerned. And that basically does it for this video at this point right there. So join me next time for Let's Play Super Luigi Galaxy, because we figure we're going to do the exact same thing, but except I'm actually going to be going for the Grand Finale Galaxy first, and then Rosalina's Storybook afterwards. So, just want to classify for that specific information right there. So yeah, see you guys next time for that. Later, fellas.